How's it going, guys? Big Papa OB3 here. Recently, there's been a wave of Johners, Dodgers, and Jonathan Dodgers in my draft league community, my personal one. This is UTL, this is Suckle, this is UDL, this is DL, this is GSA, this is MWPA, this is Nepals, this is Sled, this is shit, this is every single league I've ever been in. Just Dodgers everywhere. As soon as you get on, you add them, and they hop off. They just avoid you till Sunday. Anyways, so I apologize for just being so flustered about this, but I think I understand what's happening. See, these people probably subscribe to the King Nappy. He has about 500,000 subscribers on the YouTube, one of the biggest PokeTubers out there, and has promoted draft league content, so people are going to flock to him. And they watch his live team builders, and they take like 4 hours, and they just assume that's how you do it. And then there's people like my good friend the Pecking Order that builds 5-minute teams and then just destroys the entire community because he is the greatest draft league player to ever exist. Oh my gosh, Yum Cake is an inspiration to me. Anyways, now I know my followers, Nib Jim Nation, they do not John, they do not dodge. So I'm gonna try to bridge the gap. So I'm gonna let my subscribers, the people in the leagues that I'm in that don't dodge, try to understand the people that do dodge and build these elaborate teams and just don't have this time to build the teams and play every single week or wait until Sunday night because they have these tremendous schedules of working 45 hours and going to school for another 80 hours and then having to have an 8-hour sleep schedule and then having to go out with friends for at least 20 hours a week. And there's just not enough time in the day for them to build a 15-hour team and play for another 6 hours, So I'm gonna try to bridge that gap. So maybe the Johners and Dodgers kind of have an understanding of how to build smoother teams, and then the non-Johners and Dodgers will be able to come the other way and maybe understand the thought process behind it and maybe help their team building to maybe not build so standard or miss components when they're playing games like, I didn't even think of Energy Ball Manaphy or something. So for this video, I'm going to focus on one mon and then compare it against a sample team and then try to figure out how I build that one mon for the sample team from both perspectives. So let's focus on Swampert. Swampert has 100 base HP, 110 attack, 90 defense, 85 special attack, 90 SpDef, and 60 speed. Premier defensive wall, checks half the metagame. Probably a B tier rocker. Evolves from the pinnacle of mods in Mudkip. Swampert has the abilities of Torrent and Damp, and the Water and Ground type abilities, making it a premier electric switch-in with immunity, but it also resists Fire, Poison, Rock, and Steel. The only major downside is it has one weakness, and that is a quad weakness to Grass, making it Maractus a major threat. Swampert has a wide move pool, including Ancient Power, Aqua Tail, Attract, Avalanche, Barrier, Bide, Bite, Blizzard, Body Slam, Brick Break, Bulldoze, Captivate, Confine, Counter, Curse, Defense Curl, Dig, Dive, Double Edge, Double Team, Dynamic Punch, Earth Power, Earthquake, Echoed Voice, Endeavor, Endure, Facade, Fling, Focus Blast, Focus Punch, Foresight, Frustration, Giga Impact, Growl, Hail, Hammer Arm, Headbutt, HP Bug, HP Dark, HP Dragon, HP Electric, HP Fighting, HP Fire, HP Flying, HP Ghost, HP Grass, HP Ground, HP Ice, HP Poison, HP Psychic, HP Rock, HP Steel, HP Water, Hydro Cannon, Hydro Pump, Hyper Beam, Ice Ball, Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Icy Wind, Iron Tail, Low Kick, Mega Punch, Mimic, Mirror Coat, Mud Bomb, Muddy Water, Mud Shot, Med Slap, Mud Sport, Natural Gift, Outrage, Power Up Punch, Protect, Rain Dance, Refresh, Rest, Return, Roar, Rock Climb, Rock Slide, Rock Smash, Rock Throw, Rock Tomb, Rock Rollout, Round, Scald, Secret Power, Seismic Toss, Sleep Talk, Sludge, Sludge Wave, Snore, Stealth Rock, Stomp, Stomping Tantrum, Stone Edge, Strength, Substitute, Superpower, Surf, Swagger, Tackle, Takedown, Toxic, Uproar, Waterfall, Water Gun, Water Pledge, Water Pulse, Whirlpool, Wide Guard, Work Up, and Yawn. So the team we're competing against is Magearna, Azelf, Donphan, Haxorus, Swellow, Cragonal, Lightbard, Mega Beedrill, Thunderous Incarnate, Volcanion, and Virizion. This is Andy's team in UTL, and we allow Magirna, and you're all pussies if you don't allow Magirna. But anyways, when I would normally build for this, I would think that it's good to switch in for Mega B, standardly, and Magirna, Donphan, Lightpart, and Thundy without coverage. Most of these are special attackers, so probably more of a Spidef range. So I'm going to do just like a normal 248 in HP, plus I think it's 84 in defense. That allows it to take two adaptability U-turns from Beedrill after Stealth Rocks and Leftovers. I'm just going to add Leftovers. So do that. And then shove the rest of it in Spidef. I believe this allows it to take 2 Scarf Steam Eruptions as well. So barring any sort of crit, crit or burn, we're allowed to handle the Volcanion as well. It's probably not going to have any grass moves. And then we can allow a little bit of speed because I don't know, nobody else really knows my history against Andy. I actually did have this matchup prior to making this video. I didn't even think about it when I was making the script for this video. He originally we had this game where I had Swampert and he had Donphan, and he brought offensive Donphan with C-Bomb. So we're going to give it a little bit of speed just in case he wants to run some sort of creeping investment on anything. But yeah, so we have to watch out for C-Bomb Donphan with this matchup. But we're going to run Stealth Rock because like I said, it's a pretty decent rocker. And then Scald usually just is a good throw-out move. It prevents his Virizion from switching in. Donphan obviously can provide problems if you don't have water coverage. Earthquake is a generally good move. It 2-hit KOs or OHKOs most things after rocks. It 2-hit KOs Magirna after rocks. Or actually, I think it has to wear it down a little bit, but it can OHKO Volcanion after rocks without any HP investment. So overall it's good. We don't have to invest anything into attack for it to do what it really needs to do. And then finally I was just thinking Roar, in case Magirna thinks that this can be setup fodder and it's like a magnet rise set. We're able to switch it out from there. It should be nice. So that didn't take long. It wasn't too painful. Looking up the calcs for it beforehand didn't take too much time because obviously you're able to assess threats or things that might switch in on it or things that you want to switch this in on. And this honestly is a little bit zestier than what I originally intended for this video. I was expecting to just slap on 248 HP, 252 defense, and maybe like 8 into attack or special attack. But that's the way that the team works. Now let's look at what someone who maybe was vaccinated as a child would probably put in their set. This is what I think King Nappy would talk about in his videos. So the set that I provided still has issues with Virizion, unless they switch it in, you Scald Burn it, it's still going to be a problem, but there's also special sets for Virizion. Cryogonal hard walls it, Freeze Dry is still a major problem. And then there's still a plethora of Magirna checks that could possibly blow it back. So we're gonna tackle that with this set. One big thing that you might want to look at, especially with the Magirna team, is there's a possibility of Trick Room. So I'm going to actually make this a curse set, which helps it compete against that. And then from there, I'm actually just going to jump off and do a minus in speed and a plus there. So Sassy, just like the old set, I'm actually going to lower this down to 11 IVs because this allows it to outslow Magirna under Trick Room, but also still outspeed a Donphan with no speed investment, so we hit that happy medium. And then I'm actually going to give this... one other thing that I was thinking of that might still be a problem is he has a Haxorus on his team. Haxorus can be a bit of a pickle, even if we did have Aurora on this set. You still don't want to really face a +1 Haxorus with any sort of mon in general, so even if he gets the +1 and I Earthquake or Scald it, it's still facing a +1, potentially Outrage, potentially Z move. So I'm actually just going to alleviate that problem and bring Outrage on the set and actually Dragonium Z, so I'm able to 1v1 it pretty easily without having to worry about any sort of setup, because I can just Z Outrage at turn 1, it doesn't lock me in, so I don't have to face Magearna or have problems with that. So that's pretty nice. The other one I was debating about for a while, and you know, Ground Span would be okay for Magearna, but the set would still have problems with Cryogonal, and I think Cryogonal would expect a ground type move, so if I had this in against Magearna, he would switch out into his Cryogonal expecting the ground move, and then we would just hit him with a Hammer Arm. Hammer Arm is, after a certain EV spread we'll get to later, is able to 2-hit KO a Magearna at +2, which I think should be pretty easy to get up with this set that we're building. And finally, I'm just going to run Rest. This allows it to make sure that it doesn't get whittled down, because a lot of mons are still posing somewhat of a threat against this, and it's going to get whittled down pretty easily, especially with a curse set, as it's going to be, unless it's under Trick Room, it's still going to be slower than everything, so things are going to constantly be hitting it. And so, looking at possible problems, Virizion is still a problem, so I'm actually going to put 240 in the HP stat along with 188 in special defense. So this ensures that I do not get KO'd by a Giga Drain from a special attack invested Virizion, and then I'm able to hit it back with a +1 Hammer Arm or Outrage, depending on what I want at that point. And then the 44 in attack will allow me to take 2-hit KO an offensive Magearna with Hammer Arm at +2. And so I can just throw the rest into defense. Don't really need it. I think this was already immaculately EV'd before then, but you never know what's going to happen. And so I think this set actually covers most of the options, and I think that's what the crux of this sort of team building style is. You have to build 6 win cons. Instead of making a cohesive team that complements each other, you just bring 6 mons that are capable of 1v1ing every single mon in the opposing team. I think this does a pretty good job. Like I said, the potential issues are Cryogonal, but I don't think they're going to wait to switch in Cryogonal after, or not switch in, bring in Cryogonal after like a death or something. They're just going to hard bring in, and that's when Hammer Arm's just going to obliterate it, because Cryogonal has like 4 physical defense. So I don't think I have to worry about that. This is definitely going to catch him off guard, and I think it would be a very viable set. And one other thing that I'm just thinking of right now is currently we have the Torn ability. We can actually switch that to Damp. I think that Volcania actually does get Explosion, so this would actually prevent against Explosion and Volcanion. And we don't have any Water Ground Stab. Not that the ground stab matters, but we don't have any water stab for the Torrent ability to really matter. In summary, both 5-minute and 5-hour preppers have their way of constructing teams that are both equally valid. If you are a tryhard genre that needs extra advice on how to construct a win con set under seemingly impossible matchups, like this video somewhat provides, leave a like, some suggestions, and I'll try to make more videos kind of akin to this. Thank you so much for watching Off the Tee Podcast, episode 3. Maybe we'll come back up next weekend, I'm not too sure, but I have an idea for it in my head. And with that, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, take care.